Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Orme, and today we're going to be looking at installing the new Start It mod. Version 5 has been released. MJ has been working hard to get this up to date. So we're in beta testing. We've probably got about a week of beta before it goes full release. So I'm going to walk you through how to install it and a little bit about what the mod is. So for those that don't know, you can play in different countries in the game itself, in Starters Order 7. You can play either a flat or a jump schedule, or a combined in both England and Ireland. I should say UK and Ireland. I think there are some courses outside of England. I know Force in Wales. I don't know if there's any others. I think a couple of the French ones are in there as well. So it's a little bit of an England plus, but it's called UK. As I say, you can do the same in Ireland, where, you know, either a flat, a jumps, or a combined schedule is available. And then you got two flat only. There's Australia, where courses seem to be longer, and stamina is a big part of finding the right horse. And then there is America, which is much more about speed and shorter distances. So that's where I play, America. And I do that because I love the Kentucky Derby. I think it's a fantastic race. There's the whole mythos about winning the Triple Crown, how difficult that is. It all begins with the Kentucky Derby. And my love for it falls back to Secretariat and the unbelievable story that that horse has. So I always kind of want to replicate that journey. Now, the Start It mod is an American schedule. It's so much more than that, but at its basis, it's an American schedule. Now, due to licensing or whatever reasons, I believe it might be licensing, like the courses on the American map are in the wrong places. Some aren't called the right things, and some of the races are renamed. For example, the Brooklyn Stakes does not exist in the base game because of copyright or some reason. The fact is, if you want to play those sort of races, you've either got to play the base game's equivalent, which it's okay, it works, or you need a mod to kind of make those the races that you want to be in. And for me, always has been the best at doing it is the Start It mod. So I do play with quite a few graphical mods and little bits here and there, but the only real mod and the only real schedule I've ever wanted to play and have played extensively is the Start It mod. So this new version, well, this fits what I want. So let's go over a little bit now about how to find the mod. So we're on the main page now, the main web page, Starters Order 7. You know, you can see here you got to buy it, everything. So this is startersorders, all one word, .com. So startersorders.com. You got this button here for the forums. Now, I'm already logged in. It's going to take you to this page, and it's got a bunch of different forums in here. If you do go to the board index, it'll look slightly different in that you'll have their other games underneath Jockey Rush and the Greyhound Manager. New posts, there will be an icon here saying you have not read something in that forum. The Online League has posted something since I checked a few minutes ago. But what I like to see is in the game mods folder. So there we go, we see that. And then you got like the mod database and a bunch of other mods and people talking about making mods and other mods that they're doing. And you can kind of see which ones I've been looking at, the highlighted ones recently. A little bit of an issue there, I guess. Boy posted 5 of the same topics. Kind of interesting. But yeah, right at the top, you got the database for Starters Order 6 mods. And then you got the mod downloads directory for Starters Order 7. A little bit of a difference. I think 7's been tougher for people to convert their mods over to and get used to the new system. And, you know, it's been a bit of a struggle, which is why we don't have that many mods and why it's taken so long for Starters Orders 5. Or I should say Start It version 5. So we open up that page. You can see here started mod 5.01 by MJ. And you can see here you've got 2 files. We are in beta. It does tell you that straight off the front of this. And this page, you can see it's by MJ. Great guy. 2014. He's been working on this for 6 years. We're on version 5. I normally do an installation guide. I'm hoping that gets updated. But it really is as simple as he's laid it out here. Step by step. Very, very good. Also, extra people are putting their courses to help this out. I know Bobsworth's UK schedule went in to make it a more rounded, sort of worldwide schedule, not just a US schedule. But that is where it's based. So Simple Minds, Thomas as well. So absolutely fantastic. And then we've got old school started orders. Some of the graphics from it. I think that might be some of the graphics I use. I took from there. I think some are from 2.2 as well. And some are from elsewhere. But this is what you're looking at. So he splits it into the 2 files. You've got the mod itself and then the courses to make it work. To install the mod, you download it, you unzip it, and you just place everything in it straight into the Starters Order 7 folder. For the courses, you download, you unzip, rename your current courses. Now, it used to be overwriting that folder and used to be deleting old courses, and if we just back up that folder, just rename it, and it shows you where to go find it, and I will show you what that looks like and how to get there. But to do that, it'll back up that folder, meaning if you've got any issues, you just delete the folder you're putting in its place, rename this back to what it was, and you're good to go, and you've got the base game back again. So once you've done that, like I say, the contents of the zip file will go into that space that you've just created by renaming that folder. It's going to take some time to download. They're not small files, but as you can see, I've done that. They are there, and I think the mod itself is about 120 meg. I think it's below 120, and that is about 2 gig of courses. That's where all the big files are. So that one might take a bit more time to download. So inside my downloads folder, I've got a Starters Order 7 directory. I've got all the patches built in here from day 1 until now that I've had to install. For the game, I've got all my graphics backed up. So I've basically got just a few here. Those are the bars to help you read the stats better. Trophy with the background cut out so that you don't have a big black square behind the trophy like you used to. And the blackboard with a little TVG header. And then the TVG race graphics. That's it as far as mods I'm actually using on most of my saves. Will be those graphics and nothing else. So I got some database files. I got my patches. I got PDF stuff. So everything's up there. My 2 files here, 170. A little bit bigger than I thought for the mod itself. And the 2 gig courses. So what we're going to do is right click and extract. So that's going to start getting everything extracted. It's not going to take too long. There's a lot of files, but it's not going to take too long. So we'll just see how this goes. But yeah, when they're extracted, I'll come back and we'll take a look at what those folders now look like that we're unzipping into and how to prep those files ready for transfer. It won't take long at all. Okay. About 5 minutes later, we're pretty much done. We're just unzipping now the StartNet mod itself. 30 seconds maybe to do this one, and about 5 minutes to do the course file. There's a lot of information in there. A lot of information in there. So, that's why it takes some time. But I've already gone ahead and copied the instructions up in my little program to have these floating Windows on top of everything. So we got the instructions. Sometimes they disappear if I right click, so we'll have to be careful. And I've also opened up my Starters Order 7 folder, so I've got it installed on my C drive, and then into program files. I am using Windows 64-bit, so that's program files x86. You can check the regular program files, see if it's underneath there. If it's not, it's likely to be under an x86 folder if you've got that, or another type of program files folder. You might have multiple. Go check them out. One of them at least will have Starters Order 7, and will look a little like this. You'll see the editor here with this logo, and you will see the game here with this logo. This is also where people don't know, but you can find the instruction file and what's new in Starters Order 7. I don't think the game does a particularly good job at telling you where these are or why they're important, but a lot of information is in these. I would check them out. So here you've got all your graphics and all your different bits you can do. So when you've got this folder open, I would say separate windows works quite well. We've got our two things set up. Now the way I unzip these, I believe I put them both in the courses folder by accident. So there we go. What you'll have, if you do open them up separate, basically you'll just have two folders, one for each. If you extract here, you'll just have 3D and mods, which comes from that mod, and then the courses file, which just comes from the courses zip. I like to zip to folder because it actually renames them the same as the zip files, and that way you can tell where they've come from. So we know for this mod, for the actual mod itself, we just throw it in to this folder and let it do what it does. So if I open that up, this is what we unzip. So the 3D and mods folders. That's going to install stuff into this 3D folder here. And it's going to put a mods folder in with the actual information for start date. And all the bits and pieces are kind of in here for you. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to copy and paste. And now it's going to copy 2066 items from that folder into my Starters Order 7 folder. It's got some with the same names. Now I'm going to replace them all, but you can see kind of what it's doing. It's replacing all of these files that were already in there, graphical files by and large. And a lot of these as well will be stuff that maybe I've already put in from a previous version of the mod. But if it does say, it doesn't matter how many it says it wants to replace. The right answer is replace all these files. Doesn't matter what files. And then I click, if this comes up, you need admin permission. Do for all and continue. And just let the mod install itself. And now you'll see it'll take a little time. It's going to put all those in there for us. So that's 2,000 files going along. And that will put the start date mod in the game. But we still, if I refresh now to get the mods folder up into the list properly, now we've got all the information in there. Now we've got a few more bits in here. Great. So this step is done. We downloaded the file. We unzipped it, and this is what the inside of the zip will look like. We placed those contents in program files, Starters Order 7 folder. We did that. We overwrote the other files. Great. I'm still going to keep that. Why? Because if there's any problem I need to reinstall the game, I can reinstall the game. I've got all the patches downloaded. There's my setup file. That's the earliest patch. That's the latest patch. I've got everything in between that I've ever downloaded. I can reinstall the game, and I can easily put start it back on if I need to. Any issues. So that's kind of done. Thank you very much. We get rid of that. Another Starters Order 7 courses file. Download, unzip. This is what it looks like. We get a courses file. Rename current courses folder. It's in program files, Starters Orders 3D. Program status orders 3D. There's the courses file. All I'm going to do is rename it -backup. So courses -backup. Yes, admin permission. So no, they're not deleted. They're not going anywhere. All these files are still going to be in the folder. If I want to uninstall this, I delete the courses file we're about to drag in. Or I should say copy and paste in, because we're going to keep this copy in this folder again for easy reinstallation later without having to download again. But this is all backed up, and we can just rename that back to courses like so, and then it's as if we never messed with it in the first place. So that's the way I like to do things. It's just nice and simple. Now we've done that, all we need to do is copy and paste. And there's a lot of information. It was 2 gig to download. It's, 6 odd gig to install. 6.97, nearly 7 gigabyte of data from a 2 gig download. This is the amount of work that MJ's put in, with help from other people and their schedules like Bobsworth and Thomas and Simple Minds. I had to double check who was on that for a second that he wanted a shout out. But their schedules, their work they've put in, people have helped him along the way with different graphics and different help and where he's amassed his stuff. So this is going to take, it says, about 10 minutes. I haven't got the fastest hard drive in the world. My computer's pretty good, but the hard drive really is the limiting factor. So I'm going to come back when it's installed. Again, we're probably 5-10 minutes in at this point. So maybe a bit longer, maybe about 15 minutes. You'll see how long this video is. I can't tell right now. But I think it's probably 10 to 15 minutes. It's probably going to be another 10 to 15 minutes. And we'll see. But yeah, I think it should be pretty quick. Honestly, this should pick up. As you can see, it's starting to pick up. But we'll come back when it's all installed. And then I'll walk you through what the game's going to look like and how to basically start it up and get going. Okay. You see it just finishes there. We got a backup folder of courses. And then the new course folder, which has a lot more in it. You can see a lot more courses from around the world done differently. If we go to the USA, we also have Belmont Park there. But the good thing for me is I still got it in here in case we need it. So I can now delete these. I'm happy enough to get rid of those. What I'm going to do though is put a new folder down called Start It 5.0 and drag those in. So now I've got those files in there. I can put my graphics back in if it overwrites anything. This mod doesn't, but it's easy enough for me to just go into the graphics folder and put those in there. So graphics, I got MISC and Race graphics. They would go in the MISC and Race folders. So nice and easy. And that is, at this point, the mod fully installed. So it means we can get rid of this folder pretty much. I'm going to minimize it so we can take a look again later. We've now done this part. So, we downloaded, which is step 1 for both. We unzipped, which is step 2 for both. We placed that directly in and overwrote what it told us needed overwriting. We renamed the courses folder to back it up and put the new course folder in. So 170 megabyte for that first file. And then this one, the courses file, 2 gig unzipped into about 7 gigabytes of data. So, that's quite a lot. But, it's worth it. So now I'm just going to load up the game. And we'll run through how to set things up. I got game up. Press C to configure joystick. I do have a new gamepad on We are running version 1.030, DirectX 11. So, okay, there's my file that I've been playing in. I'm going to start a new game down in this slot, but what we want to do first, available user mods. Inside here, because we've got that folder we dragged in from the initial zip file that we did, we've got the start it mod. So there's the start it. Make sure we are selected on USA. I like to play on easier. And then I'm going to select this slot. And that's it. Everything else is set up. Put everything else in like you would a normal game. This is how I play. Pretty normal. Start a new game. Now, this process is normally quite long anyway, generating that first season. I'm not going to have any legends in this game for now. So, you'll have the same delays as you would in the base game. They might be a little longer. It does take, I don't know why, but the American schedule in the base game takes way longer than the others to actually get into the game and start playing. So, I don't know why or how. Especially when they've got longer schedules and everything else. I don't know why the American takes longer. But this is just going to take that little bit of extra time. So we leave it to his thing. We come back to it and see where it goes. And we're back. We're in the game here. We've got everything set up. And we are now playing Start It. Nothing else has changed. Like money, the horses you get, everything's basically the same. Now that did take a long time. In fact, I'm not going to lie. I went away and did other stuff and just left it for way longer than I should. I'm coming back to this like an hour later. It doesn't take that long. It takes probably 20 to 25 minutes to do. So the whole process is going to be about an hour. You only need to do it when you set up the game once. So I'm just going to make sure I save. And then I can save and quit and go back to the main menu here. And now it's in here. As you can see, it's already backed up. We've got the game all set up. And I've got to select Start It. When I am loading the game that is my starter game, I need to select Start It. If I'm playing default, I need to select default before loading up my game. That needs to happen. So I've got my game here that we play. As the YouTube said, we've got some races to run, to set up. And then before going into this one, a little bit fiddly, but you've got to start by selecting Start It. And it's going to take a little while to load, but again, it's not anything too crazy, I don't think. The amount of information, the courses that are being loaded, the data for the schedule, it does take time. But there we go. It takes that much time to save and that much time to load. It's really not an issue. So once you've got past that initial start, you have that issue all solved. But now you can see here, we actually do have, Belmont Park up here in New York. If we look down here, Golden Gate, Ferndale, Pleasanton, Los Alamitos, Tampa Bay, Gulfstream Downs, Fairgrounds down here. They got everybody in the right place. And my little bit here, Keeneland. I love Keeneland. That's where the horses sales are. Historically, there's always been some good bargains at Keeneland sales. And you've got Churchill Downs where the race for the roses is run. The Kentucky Derby is there. And you've got Kentucky Downs, Ellis Park, Fairmount. These are all really, really sort of integral to the whole Kentucky Derby. So I like to put my stable somewhere near them all. Also expensive, expenses are quite low there. So I don't mind doing that. So, yeah, we got our horses. I'm going to set up the stable. And I'm going to start playing and testing out this mod, seeing how well it is. So that's where we're going to leave it, but let me run over those steps again. We head to the website. We click the forum button. We find our way through to the mod section. We find the Start It mod folder, or thread, I should say. We download the files. We unzip the files. That put us in with these files from the mod, and that courses file there. We put those in program files, starters order 7, as it says, backing up the 3D courses folder along the way. Put them in the right places. And then just make sure when you're starting up the game, you start off the game in the right way. The achievements should be now changed. Kentucky, Preakness, and Belmont. That should no longer be an issue. And if we look at the diary, all the races should be set up in the proper way. You can see everybody's here with a good set of things going on. And then we can go to May. And in May, where is it? There we go. So 2nd of May, there's the Kentucky Derby. And then we head over to, where would it be? There we go. At Pimlico. Now it's got its race course in. It's not held at a different race course. It's actually held at the right place. We've got the Preakness. It's not called the Preakness Stakes, just called the Preakness in this, which is interesting. And then we've got a little bit later on, June. There we go. We've got the big day at Belmont Park, culminating in the Belmont Stakes, the mile 4. That is the Triple Crown. So, we've got the map fixes, we've got the schedule fixes, we've got everything set up properly, we've got a lot of internationals, and then it's just playing Start It as you would any other game. So, yeah, that's the benefits of playing the Start It mod. That's why I like it, and hey, there will be a series going up on it. I'm going to bug test for about a week until the full version is released. Then we will start our own series on it and have a bunch of videos going up on that. So, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, hit me up in the comment section below. Go check out the other Starters Orders series we've got going on at the moment on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do consider doing so. Hit that like button, notification bell, all that good stuff while you're there. And I'll see you next time. Till then, y'all take care of yourselves.